Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast.
Yes, welcome back.
Today we're going to do a deep dive, really get into the life of a true Hollywood icon,
Oh, okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, love him.
I mean, his journey,
Yeah.
it's as captivating as the characters he plays on screen, right?
I mean, absolutely.
Been in the spotlight like decades, right?
Yeah.
From teen heartthrob to Oscar winner. But there's a lot more to him than, what you see.
Oh, for sure. Way more.
Okay, let's just start with something. I bet even diehard fans don't know this. His name, Leonardo, wasn't just some random choice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his mother was looking at a Da Vinci painting
No way.
when she felt him kick for the first time.
Wow.
Can you imagine being named after, like, one of the greatest artists in history?
What a way to come into the world, right?
Talk about destiny.
Totally.
But, okay, here's the thing. His early life was far from, the glamorous world of Hollywood.
Oh.
He grew up in a pretty rough part of Los Angeles, tons of poverty, crime all around him.
That's surprising you don't really think about that.
Right. It's, hard to reconcile that image with the Leonardo DiCaprio we see on red carpets,
Yeah. Totally different.
It really makes you wonder how those experiences shaped him, as a person.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, seeing that stuff firsthand,
Yeah.
that's got to have an impact.
Huge impact, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And it is fascinating to see how, someone can come from that kind of background and still achieve incredible things.
Yeah. It's inspiring.
Oh, and his path to success, let me tell you, not exactly a straight line.
Oh, is that right?
He almost gave up acting, completely.
Seriously, 11 years old.
Wow. What could pull him away, from acting at that age?
Believe it or not, breakdancing.
Breakdancing.
Breakdancing. He even got second place in some big competition in Germany.
No way. I would love to see that. Can you imagine Leonardo DiCaprio, the breakdancing king? Talk about a what-if moment, right?
Totally.
Thankfully, for us, I guess he stuck with acting.
Yeah, a few. Close one.
But even then, it wasn't instant fame. He had his share of rejections, couldn't get an agent for the longest time.
Really?
Went to tons of auditions before he finally got a break.
Wow.
I even read somewhere that someone actually told him to change his name.
Change his name.
Ooh, get this, Lenny Williams.
Lenny Williams, no way.
Can you imagine? Lenny Williams starring in Titanic.
Doesn't have the same ring to it?
Not at all. But, I think all those struggles really show something about him,
Yeah, what's that?
Persistence.
Yeah.
He didn't give up, even with all those obstacles.
That's awesome.
Totally. And that's probably what led him to, his role in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh, yeah, that's a great movie.
It is. He played Arnie, a character with developmental disabilities, and got an Oscar nomination at 19.
19.
19. I mean, that's amazing.
It's incredible. That performance, it just blew everyone away.
Totally. It showed, how much depth he had and maturity.
Way beyond his years.
Yeah. He was more than just a good-looking guy.
Right. A serious actor.
A serious actor.
Yeah.
And then came Titanic.
Of course.
The movie that, catapulted him to superstardom. Leomania.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was crazy. He was everywhere.
Like the most recognizable face on the planet.
Exactly. But what's so interesting is he didn't really want that heartthrob image.
Huh.
He tried to get away from it.
Interesting.
He wanted roles that were, complex, unexpected.
Yeah.
Even, a little unlikable sometimes.
He could have just done the same thing, capitalized on that Titanic fame.
Totally.
But he chose a different path.
He did. And it's almost like he was determined to prove himself.
Yeah.
As a serious actor.
Ah.
To, shed that teen idol image.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a turning point in his career. But before we get into that, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any future episodes of Tell Me More. We've got some incredible stories coming your way.
Lots more deep dives.
Exactly.
I'm excited.
You too.
So, DiCaprio, he really wanted to break free from that whole heartthrob thing after Titanic.
Yeah, he did. And I think one of the biggest ways he did that was through his work with, Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese, yeah.
I mean, they've made 5 films together.
Wow.
Gangs of New York.
That's a classic.
The Aviator.
Amazing performance in that one.
The Departed.
Ah, so good.
Shutter Island.
Oh, creepy.
And of course, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that one was wild.
I mean, each one is just so different, It shows how much they both, push boundaries and experiment.
Yeah, they have a real artistic connection, you can tell.
Totally. And for DiCaprio, it really shows how much range he has.
Yeah, he doesn't like to play it safe.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
He wants to challenge himself and us, the audience, with roles that are complex, morally ambiguous,
Yeah, yeah.
even unlikable sometimes.
Like, think about his role as Calvin Candy in Django Unchained.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, talk about a despicable character.
A slave owner, yeah.
He really embodied the horrors of that time.
Yeah. I read that DiCaprio actually felt uncomfortable with how much racism was in that film,
Oh, wow.
but he trusted, Tarantino's vision.
Yeah. It takes a lot of courage to go to those dark places as an actor.
It really does.
Yeah.
To confront those uncomfortable truths,
Exactly.
And it's that same fearlessness, I think, that you see in his environmental activism.
Oh, right.
He's been talking about climate change for years, long before it was like a mainstream issue.
He was ahead of the curve.
Totally. Remember that speech he gave at the UN Climate Summit back in, was it 2014?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So powerful, so urgent.
He was really calling for action.
Yeah, he was like pleading with world leaders to do something.
And it wasn't just him, right? That speech, it was a huge moment for the whole movement.
Yeah, he used his platform to reach so many people,
Millions, probably.
And he doesn't just talk.
Yeah.
He walks the walk.
What do you mean?
Donates millions to environmental causes, supports all these organizations trying to protect the planet.
Wow.
He even bought an island off the coast of Belize.
Really?
Yeah, to create an eco-friendly resort.
That's incredible.
Like a model for sustainable tourism.
I love that.
It shows how deep his commitment is,
Yeah, it's not just for show.
It's who he is. And it's funny, for someone who's always in the spotlight, DiCaprio is also really private.
Yeah, that's true.
He rarely gives interviews about his personal life, avoids all the gossip and stuff.
Totally different from a lot of other celebrities.
It's like he's figured out how to separate, like, the Leonardo DiCaprio superstar from the real person,
Yeah, he's got that mystique.
Totally. It lets him focus on what matters to him.
Which is?
His art, his activism, He's not caught up in all the trappings of fame.
That's admirable.
It is. He uses his celebrity for good.
Yeah.
To shine a light on things he cares about.
Speaking of shining a light, there's one more thing about DiCaprio that might surprise you.
Oh, what's that?
He's kind of an adrenaline junkie.
Adrenaline junkie.
Okay.
Seriously. He was once almost killed in a skydiving accident.
Wait, really?
Yeah, his parachute malfunctioned.
Oh, my gosh.
It was like a total malfunction.
Yeah.
And he only survived because his instructor was so quick, deployed the reserve chute just in time.
Wow, that's a close call. That definitely adds another layer to his persona, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is a guy who's like stared down danger on screen and off.
It makes you wonder if like that experience changed his outlook on life,
Yeah, maybe it made his commitment to making a difference even stronger, living a life of purpose.
It's interesting to think about. And, speaking of impact, you can't deny how much his roles have resonated with audiences. I mean, think about Titanic. That scene with Jack and Rose clinging to the door.
Oh, yeah. The debate that never ends. Could Jack have fit? Could he have survived?
Right. It's like a pop culture phenomenon. People are still analyzing it, arguing about it. It shows how powerful his performances are.
Absolutely. And it's not just Titanic. I'm the king of the world, or I'm not leaving from The Revenant.
Yeah.
Those lines, they're like part of our culture now.
His performances, they stay with you
Yeah.
long after the movie's over.
They do, yeah.
And it's not just about the lines,
Mm-hmm.
It's the depth, the intensity, the emotion he brings to everything. Whether he's playing a charming con man, a tortured artist, a ruthless stockbroker.
He just disappears into the role.
He does.
Yeah.
And he finally got that Oscar, for The Revenant.
It was a long time coming.
It was. But so well deserved. Do you remember his speech? He used that moment, on that huge stage to talk about climate change.
He did. It was power.
Urging everyone to do something.
He could have just, enjoyed the win.
Right.
Basked in the glory. But he chose to use that platform to talk about something he believes in.
Exactly. It says a lot about him, about his character.
Yeah. He's a true advocate.
Not just, a celebrity lending his name to a cause.
He lives it.
So we've covered a lot today, from his unusual name and that tough childhood to his breakout roles, his dedication to acting, and his passion for the environment. Leonardo DiCaprio is clearly much more than just a Hollywood star.
He's an artist, an activist, a philanthropist, a voice for change. He uses his fame to bring attention to important issues,
And to inspire others to make a difference.
Exactly.
And that's what we're all about here on Tell Me More Stories Told as Podcast. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the life of Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's been a pleasure.
Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our future episodes. Here we'll uncover more fascinating stories. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking.
Tell me more.